Graduates and guests, may we have your attention, please? Convocation is about to begin. If you have a mobile device or pager with you, please turn it off or silence it during the ceremony. Thank you for your attention and congratulations. If able, please rise.
Good morning and welcome to everyone. We wish to acknowledge this land on which the University of Toronto operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit. Today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous people across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land. We're also grateful to have the opportunity to celebrate the achievements of our scholars who graduate today. On their behalf, let us express gratitude for the support of their families and friends, and for the faculty and staff who have guided them in their pursuit of knowledge. Whatever our traditions, let us reflect as we proceed through the convocation ceremony on the many years of effort, sacrifice, and success that have brought us to this day of celebration. In concilium Universitates Torontonenses vocatis sumus. Graduates, please remain standing. All guests, please be seated.
Insignissima cancelaria, presento tibi hosce scholaris, ut admittantur ad gradus varios, testorque eos quo ad omnia quae, statuta requirunt aptos et idonios esse.
Et profectum huies provinciae, huies qua magnae patriae, et profectum omnium nationum, omnibus interis conjunctarum. Ago exacatoritate mihi etoti, universitate commissar. Et mitto vos egredos varios, quarum ura vubisto, et petoco qua ut omnia confictiatas munera qua et illos gradus pertinent.
Please be seated. My name is Merrick Gertler, and I have the great privilege to serve the University of Toronto as its 16th president. Today, I have the additional privilege of assisting Chancellor Rose Patten in conducting this convocation. The university is an institution with deep historical roots and many enduring traditions. Among those is our use of the language of the medieval university in today's wonderful celebration. For those in attendance who, like me, are less than fluent in Latin, a translation may be helpful. For my part, I said, "Most distinguished Chancellor, I present to you these scholars that they may be admitted to the various degrees. And I bear witness that, as far as all things which the statutes require, they are fit and suitable." Much more significantly from the standpoint of the graduating class, the Chancellor then replied, "To the benefit of this province, this great country, and to the worldwide community of nations, I, by the authority vested in me and in the whole university, admit you to your various degrees, grant to you the rights, and ask of you the responsibilities of doing all those things which pertain to those degrees." And so as my first order of business, I am delighted to salute you, the graduating classes of 2023 from the University of Toronto Scarborough. That's it, you're done. Warmest congratulations. I would also like to bid a warm welcome to everyone who has joined us here in historic Convocation Hall. Graduates, today the University of Toronto is formally recognizing your hard work, your accomplishments, your perseverance, and this milestone. And speaking of perseverance, you have successfully completed your program in extraordinary and challenging times, and today's celebration is all the more meaningful for it. Each of you, as a member of the graduating class, is joining an exceptional family of University of Toronto alumni. U of T has a global community of over 660,000 alumni in 196 countries. They are the university's living legacy and our greatest ambassadors. U of T alumni serve in leadership roles in every corner of the globe and in every walk of life. They are prime ministers, justices, scholars, authors, community and business leaders, scientists, and professionals of every description. Their endeavors have shaped the world we live in and the way we understand that world. We have no doubt that the University of Toronto's high international standing can be attributed to generations of dedicated and very talented faculty and staff members. But we also understand that this reputation has been built by our alumni, a group that now includes each and every one of you. So to the graduating class, let me say thank you. Thank you for your many contributions to the university while you were a student. And thank you for what you will do as members of Canada's largest and, I believe, most distinguished alumni community. One more word of thanks is in order. I'm sure all graduates share a sense of gratitude to the friends and family members who've helped bring them to this special day. And I would ask you to join me in the platform party in thanking them with a vigorous round of applause. Let me continue with a request. One of the distinguishing features of our convocation is that graduates come forward to be recognized individually. You'll be standing on this X beside the podium here for your few seconds of fame while we call your name. You'll then follow the red carpet over to the ramp, go down the ramp and out that door, and go around the hall. At that point, you will turn left and quietly re-enter the hall as your peers continue to be recognized individually. In that spirit, I would ask you to think of the very last person who's going to be on stage this morning. I believe it will be Zhu Chen Shi. Zhu Chen, could you please stand up? So everybody remember Zhu Chen and return to your seat. Finally, I want to note that the university is a mask-friendly environment. we ask everybody to respect each other's decisions and comfort levels with regard to health and safety concerns. And similarly, we will forego the traditional handshake, but promise to offer enthusiastic applause as you pass by on the stage. Thank you for your understanding and assistance, and once again, my warmest congratulations. It's now my privilege to introduce today's Convocation speaker, Sam Ibrahim. An alumnus of UTSC, Mr. Ibrahim is a highly successful entrepreneur who founded the Arrow Group of companies at age 26. The Arrow Group is one of Canada's largest private corporations and currently employs over 10,000 people on 4 continents. Following his belief in the transformative power of entrepreneurship and its ability to uplift a community, Mr. Ibrahim recently partnered with U of T to develop the Sam Ibrahim Center of Inclusive Excellence in Entrepreneurship, Innovation, and Leadership at UTSC. The center will equip student entrepreneurs with the skills and experience they need to start and grow the next generation of Canadian ventures. Please welcome Sam Ibrahim to the podium.
Okay. I do have some notes. So, firstly, I want to thank the President, Merrick Tetley, of course, the Chancellor, for inviting me here today. It is an absolute honor. I can't tell you how much of an honor it is. I want every graduate to go back and think of that first class they took, that first test they took, that first exam they wrote, and thinking that you are here today in this moment. I'm sure some of you are probably surprised. I'm sure some of you are probably amazed, like the fact that you're here today. Well, there's no one more surprised from where they are today than me today, standing here. I appreciate that it doesn't make sense. This is predominantly a Scarborough University graduation, and it is predominantly business students. And I own and operate the largest corporation in Scarborough. I founded it in Scarborough, and it stayed in Scarborough. So it makes sense. Technically, it makes sense for me to be here. But my story is an unlikely story, and I want to share a little piece of it. I have the stereotypical immigrant story. My father came to this country extremely overqualified, could never land a job that actually fit his qualifications, and my mother was a stay-at-home mother. She had 3 children, 3 young children. We were raised in the Markham and Lawrence district of Scarborough. Some call it Cedarbrae, Greenbrae, the hood, inner city, the ghetto. Whatever you want to call it, we call it Toronto Community Housing. And we grew up of kids from that environment. So the circumstances of that environment shaped us. Now, we grew up good. We grew up happy. We were very happy young children. And we managed to all go to university. I went to the University of Toronto in Scarborough. I squeaked in. And when I entered school the first day, I realized why my parents, it was so important for them to immigrate to Canada. Because the promise of higher education in this country leveled the playing field. People from my neighborhood and people that went to private schools, people that went international, were in the same lecture halls, learning from the same professors, doing some incredible things. And that was the promise of education in this part of the world. And that's why I think a lot of our parents came to this country or sent their students to get educated in this country. My university experience was fun. And there was one particular morning that we were playing basketball. I did a lot of that at school. And someone ran into the gym and said, America's under attack. That's what the person said. So we went to the screens. It was the morning of September 11, 2001. And I saw those planes flying into the building, and I told myself, well, I hope it's not Islamic terrorists, and of course it was. And I hope it's not Egyptians, because I'm Egyptian, and they were. So I knew, you know what, things might change slightly for me. I have a very vivid memory of a few days later It's a bit of a story. I pull up to a gas station, and someone pulls in front of me and says, I was here first. We got into a little bit of a discussion, got a little heated. I got out of the car, and he told me, go home, Terrace. No joke. He said that to me. And I told him, where? Home? I live in Malvern, I live down the street. And he said, and he looked at my mom, because my mom was in the car too, and he said, you guys stink, and he covered his nose. And it bothered me. But why it bothered me so much was the gas station attendant was my friend. He didn't say anything. He didn't say a word. He said, hey, Sam, why don't you just kind of move along? And I remember a very important quote from Dr. Martin Luther King. And he said, in moments of challenge, it will not be the voices of your enemies that you have an issue with. It's the silence of your friends. That's how I felt in that moment. I went on, I finished school, continued with my education, and I started my business. I had to adapt to a new opportunity. It was very challenging. 2 distinct early wins I wanted to tell you guys today. The first one was a client of ours told us that they wanted us to take over a big chunk of business. Now, we weren't equipped to handle that large chunk of business, but it was a great opportunity. So we decided to accept the opportunity. We decided to accept the opportunity, which led to a lot of change, and we adapted. That client became our largest client and still is our largest client. The second opportunity, we received a call from a junior senator out of Illinois. That junior senator asked us to do a little bit of political polling for his campaign. Again, we have never done that before, but we decided to take the chance. We decided to accept the opportunity. We had to change and we had to adapt. That junior senator on November 8th, 2008 became the President of the United States, Barack Obama. And till this day, we work with his campaign and the Democratic Party in America. Why I'm telling you these stories is if there's nothing else that you hear what I'm saying today is understand that sometimes opportunity is masked in a great deal of change. And to reach that opportunity, you have to accept the fact that you're going to change, and you have to adapt to change. Do not be afraid of change. Charles Darwin, the father of evolution, said, it is not the smartest animal or the strongest animal that will survive. It is the one that will adapt to change. That's how I've built my career. As I moved forward, I received another opportunity. It was to actually partner with University of Toronto. It was something I wasn't necessarily comfortable with. I didn't know how it would go down, but on May 12th, we announced the opening of the Sam Ibrahim Center of Entrepreneurship and Inclusive Excellence. That was on May 12th, just a couple of weeks ago. That opportunity was one of the proudest moments of my life. For my parents and my family to be in a room where a school or a building in the university was going to be named after myself was an honor. Something that, growing up in Toronto community housing, we didn't expect. So you know what I did? I did the first thing anyone would do. I did an Instagram post. And I got almost 1,000 likes. I put the post up, I crafted this beautiful post, and then there were comments. Some comments said, they're giving buildings to terrorists. Some comments said, I heard this guy is a Saudi plant. I don't even know what it was. But what ended up happening immediately was people, maybe in this room, started commenting. Started saying, we're not for this. We will not allow this. This is discrimination. You can't say these types of things. Within an hour, the messages were gone. Everything was deleted. I got a message from Instagram, auto-generated, of course, and it said, there were messages of hate on your page. It's been deleted. The students were the ones who came to my rescue. It was U of T students that messaged Instagram and got those messages deleted. Remember, I had that friend who didn't say anything, but not this generation. This generation is the generation the world's been waiting for. This generation is a generation that will not stand for the discrimination, will not stand for injustice, will not stand for human suffering. It's your generation, and I'm really proud that I get to be in a room with some of the best new members of this generation. But I want to tell you something. Even though I know that you're comfortable saying no for the things you dislike, you got to say yes to the things you want. You got to say yes to opportunity. You got to say yes to change. You got to say yes to adapting. You got to say yes to challenge. And most importantly, you got to say yes to hard work. Because I don't care what app you produce, you still got to work hard. And I'm going to leave you with this story. On December 3rd, 1974, Bob Marley's home was attacked. Bob Marley, famous reggae artist. And they raided his home, 7 people, and they shot him. He ended up surviving the assassination attempt. And on the next day, he was in concert. Believe it or not, the next day. And the people, his bandmates, said, "Bob, why are you here? You just got shot yesterday." And he said, pointing to his wound, "The people that did this to me aren't taking a day off, so I'm not taking a day off." I want everyone to have a wonderful graduation. I thank you for having me, and congratulations to the class of 2023. Thank you.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you the following candidate from the School of Graduate Studies who is being admitted to the degree of the Master of Environmental Science, Rachel Buffard. Candidates from the University of Toronto Scarborough who are being admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration, Yusuf Adam. Emmanuel Ulavadimila Aderboya. Krish Ahluwalia. Calvin Okanta Akrofi. Kamil Karim Ali. Mishal Al-Bahai. Aledaya Al-Khavarawiya. Lucille Ama Ata Antwi. Nadia Ardakani. Maher Nisa Arshad. Alexandria Persia Atbin. Tilakamuni Angelo Dile Taruth. Ibrahim Shamil Aziz. Yufei Bai. Jonathan Balane. Yifan Bao. Sabana Baskaran. Yuting Tai. Jingi Tusao. Massimo Nesta Carpino. Hoi Yan Annika Chan. Winghei Allison Chan. Dong Yuan Chan. Jun Leong Chen. Lejun Chen. Peng Siu Chen. Tao Yu Chen. Yanshin Chen. Yimin Chen. Ziheng Chen. Li Shue Cheng. Nyai Ying Michelle Cheung. Brittany Tizu Ning Chien. Joanna Tin Hong Chio. Ruben Yan Zong Chio. Christy Hui Roy Choi. Michelle Neons Coelho. Brian Timothy Bermeo Kotako. Chirag Himanshu Desai. Zora Al-Farhan Devji. Koshia Dahabalan. Anne Fong Din. Elia Jafar. Shinlei Duan. Shanzeh Nasima Durani. Judy El Guali. Oi Ki Fan. Zaid Fathallah. Ahmed Hassan Fayek. Jilong Feng. Catherine Folk. Mengyao Fu. Jeffrey Fung. Yuteng Ge. Hanjuan Ganaharan. Rachel Gordon. Agam Singh Gujral. Agabala Gulmaliyev. Austin David Gums. Vishnavi Guruparan. Arija Hamid. Miao Han. Yushin Han. Lureta Hasku. Vaishnavi Guraparan. Loretta Hasku. Azan Mohammed Hassan. Cyril Erhan Hassan. Kinhui He. Jacob Timothy Hill. Alina Jia Yihao. Hanrui Hu. Jiawei Huang. Jingi Huang. Jiyuan Huang. Kie Huang. Leonardo Huang. Lilian Jane Huang. Tahsin Nahyan Hussain. Ibrahim Asad Iqbal. Ibrahim Yusuf Magdi Iskander. Saltanat Baim Jafraova. Byron Jiang. Rui Jiang. Michelle Neil Jozik. Darren Louis Jung. Shivam Kapila. John Karadimas. Kirijan Keslavaran. Ayan bin Adnan Khan. Shahid Ahmad Khan. Fahmid Kibriya. Joseph Killian. Jeon Kim. Manami Kuwahara. Abina Serva Kayera Darkava. Jackie Chun Ching Lam. Stanley Lam. Jarek Ivan Landry Hoffman. Pei Xian Li. Xiao Wei Li. Zhu Bin Lei. Chin Tang Marcus Leong. Elson Kong Io Leong. Jiajun Li. Peter Silong Li. Sinu Li. Weipu Li. Xinyan Li. Yangfan Li. Yingwen Li. Yujie Li. Zhenghen Li. Jirong Li. Hengrui Liang. Queenie Ying Ling Liang. Yingxing Liang. Inquan Lim. Huan Lin. Shengbin Lin. Yujie Lin. Auran Leo. Botao Leo. Jiawei Leo. Junshun Lu. Xinwei Liu. Ye Liu. Dahang Lu. Xiaoyi Lu. Chen Luan. Chen Lu. Kiwei Lu.
Do you mind slowing down a little bit? It's getting
Okay.
really backed up.
Okay. Yiling Liu. Savin Maruf. Sangavi Mahendran. Jiacheng Mai. Moiz Rashid Malik. Surya Tushar Maliste. Manasa Monaharan. Matusha Monaharan. Maheen Irfan Memon. Nikita Mistry. Kajol Mandeep Musadilal. Aralim Musilim. Pinar Nakakli. Patricia Midori Nagatani. Armanbir Singh Nagra. Tanuja Nalia, Piravin Namasivayam, Kurtley Michael Newland, King Hay Maurice Ng, Vina Nguyen, Abigail Nicholas Caston, Omar Nurani, Kianrong Pan, Janice Parekh, Viraj Patel, Marina Pavlus, Guillermo Pires, Dion Reshan Persoet, Olga Yurivena Papava, Shri Prohit, Shingyu Ki, Yichong Ki, Chen Kian, Yiking Kiao, Jiajun Kiu, Zhong Jin Q, Abisha Raghu, Gulshana Rahman, Simriti Ratan, Seyon Ravi Kumar, Evelyn Maria Ryder, Suraj Himanshu Ruparela, Vera Ann Ya Ahimba Saki, Mohana Saha, Arani Sahajanathan, Matan Samson, Tharsan Sativaratan, Mursal Sadiki, Jason Kenneth Satyawan, Zainab Shabir, Yunzi Shang, Vani Vijay Sharma, Fawaz Mohammed Sharefa, Camila Sheikh, Yang Seung Shin, Jason Shing, Jasmine Deborah Shum, Farouk Imran Sadiqi, Harley Norega Shadeko, Tiana Simbadis, Karanpreet Singh, Kirtana Sivakumar, Maida Song. Saritavia Sarikumar. Hua Chin Sun. Peng Chao Sun. Shueyang Sun. Yuhan Sun. Yutian Sun. Christopher Ta. Stephanie Mini Tam. Jingwen Tan. Katrina Pearl Tan. Kwanwei Tan. Nicholas Wee Jun Tay. Rachel Tong. Tan Ba Tran. Nicholas Tesvetanov. Asmina Rahman Turin. Edgaras Varnas. Ajantan Vasikaran. Leonardo Sebastian Vega. Heyun Wang. Mengfan Wang. Shuizi Wang. Wayland Wang. Xiaoni Wang. Yingu Wang. Angel Yutong Wang. Ji Yuan Wei. Cloris Lok Yu Wang. Hoi Ying Wang. Yu Hei Wang. Juya Wu. Siwen Xia. Di Xiao. Sharon Xiao. Yonglin Xiao. Yishi Xie. Bingkong Xing. Bohan Xu. Jessica Xu. Satish Prakash Yakub. Fan Yang. Mao Yang. Mingda Yang. Shitong Yang. Yuan Yao. Ivana Ying Hua Ye. Zhenyu Yu. Cheok Hei Nicholas Yu. Huanrui Yu. Jiao Yu. Ryan Zakir. KYZ. Anand Zhang, Dongjin Zhang, Hao Zhang, Minkyun Zhang, Yangyu Zhang, Yiwen Zhang, Zishan Zhang, Gain Zhao, Jiaxin Zhao, Yi Zhao, Emily Xiaofen Zhang, Peirong Zhang, Xin Yue Zhang, Linlin Zhu, Leji Zhu, Xiaoya Zhu, Shirui Zhu, Jishuan Zhuang, Ziru Ye, candidates from the University of Toronto Scarborough who are being admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration, Honors Bachelor of Science. Gallardo De Filippo. Tianxia Yang. Rang Feng Ye. Candidates from the University of Toronto Scarborough who are being admitted to the degree of Honors Bachelor of Arts. Shahreen Shahid Ahmed. Joanna Natalie Sanyu Bakita. Sabah Bashari. Charles Harvey Billen. Elise Blundell. James Emmanuel Bandak. Manat Bapari. Crystal Marion Butler. Tu Chen. Xuan Cheng Chen. Yijun Chen. Yiping Chen. Zifan Chen.
我是木瓜12全能木瓜上我看齐，这是我哥哥。
Felix Cam Ting Cheong. Amrit John David. Akila Mulugeta Dababy. Jing Ze Dong. Xu Yuan Duan. Alina Farouk. Simal Fatima. Jialun Fei. Tomiva Kibati Femi Johnson. Alisa Leonora Fernandez. Yulin Gao. Olivia Lacob Granum. Jie Gu, Zeki Hao, Jiyun Huang, Yuki Ikobe, Leslie Isaro, Yehbin Jeon, Chunhao Jiang, Yijia Jing, Zi Peng Kam Chao, Mingi Kim, Wuri Kim, Weihong Kwang, Zian Nizar Lalani, Owen Lee, Shushin Lee, Junyi Lin, Yuchen Liu, Fangfei Lu, Yang Lu, Jacqueline Lu, Yantin Ma, Jinhao Ma, Tanya Mehta, Katur Said Mohammed, Jiahui Mu, Shazme Sayara Nafis, Jianong Niu, Akash Pala Parthi, Raghav Puri, Farzana Rahman, Tierney Page Russell, Simprit Singh Sandhu, Irfan Sajib Sardar, Yaning Shi, Jun Xiang Song, Abhinaya Sirimuralataran, Jennifer Tran, Anushka Otaya Kumar, Jason Wong, Jiai Wang, Kinwen Wang, Yajie Wang, Iju Wang, Divu, Lele Vu, Jiaki Shue, Jiahao Yu, Jinrong Yu, Coco Yu, Miao Yu, Tiancheng Yu, Yanin Yu, Jiven Yu. Jingyu Zhan. Ao Zhang. Yage Zhang. Hakuna Matata. Zekai Zhang. Hanji Zheng. Junying Zhu. Michelle Margaret Zima. Candidate from the University of Toronto Scarborough who is being admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Chenxi Zhu. Candidates from the University of Toronto Scarborough who are being admitted to the degree of Honors Bachelor of Science, Shifa Ali. Indraanil Bahata Charji. Yiron Sen. Yifan Kui. Amina Jamila Ahmed Dasuki. Yue Ding. Rika Agava. Ruiki Fang. Jiamin He. Zike Huang. Mohammed Fahim Khan. Abirami Kirupaniti. Yingxian Li. Zhan Tao Lin. Bove Liu. Patrick Agustin. Afshana Mia. Rebecca Mock. Jessica Tiffany Ingsiva. Rohan U. Mahik Prasad. Navina Raghunathan. Benjamin Jiawa Sheng. Sharuga Sinatambi. Natsuko Takami. Jiatong Tang. Yue Shu. Zikian Shu.
You were spectacular.
On behalf of the University of Toronto, and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I hereby admit all those candidates not here present to their degrees in absentia.
As we conclude Convocation, I wish to thank all of you for your participation and your patience. To the families and friends and to those in the procession, let me say thank you. You've made this a more memorable event for each member of the graduating class. I'd like to thank our Chancellor, Rose Patton, for presiding so graciously over today's ceremony. Thank you, Chancellor. And let me thank as well the many other colleagues and friends of the university who participated in this convocation, whose names you will find in the program. I now invite the Chancellor to bring today's ceremony to a close.
As I bring this convocation ceremony to a close on this, your special day, I hope we will see you often in the years to come, and I invite you to stay connected with us. We will be very interested in your journey, and we know you will make an impact for the better in whatever you choose to do. Concilium dimissum est.